No sim update 1 after several months since the launch of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Why haven't we seen a major update to the sim so far? In this video, we answer these questions, including all the latest details about the in-sim marketplace for 2024. Let's jump straight into the video. Thank you to Simbit World Pilots Life Chapter 2 for sponsoring this video. Hey, Pilots Life Chapter 2 simulates the career of a commercial airline pilot by generating your schedules, tracking your scores for your flights, and rewarding weekly according to your contract type and much more. Pilots Life provides a reason to fly in the sim from A to B while improving your skills as an airliner pilot, and depending on how good your scores are, you can progress throughout your airliner career to higher tier airliners and purchase more aircraft license. With over 575 airliners and over 280,000 real up-to-date routes, each flight and contract will have you experience the virtual airliner career globally, living a pilot's life. A pilot's life will work across all types of flight sim platforms, including a Microsoft Flight Simulator, X-Plane, P3D, and even FSX. Links to the description are where you can pick up your copy of Pilot's Life, and we thank them for sponsoring this video. Many simmers thought with the release of the i9 Build's A350, we may see a release of Sim Update 1 and the 2024 marketplace. Not to be the case, the Microsoft team mentions in their weekly blog post they are hard at work when it comes to Sim Update 1 and the in-sim marketplace, which will be released alongside. The Microsoft team currently doesn't have a release date, but they did mention the beta testers will receive a new beta build sometime next week. In an interview this week over on the MSFS addons website, which included Indie Builds and Jorg mentioned the goal was originally to release Sim Update 1 with the release of the Airbus A350, but the update is still not ready yet. Jorg asked the question in the interview to MFS addons and Indie Builds, would you rather a release date or a stable release? And of course, the team from Microsoft's side of things and many simmers would rather see a stable release as a preferred option. The biggest challenge that the Microsoft team has been facing is backwards compatibility. York went on to mention that setting up the in-sim marketplace for 2020 was one thing. It was new, and while some older add-ons worked and many didn't, but when it comes to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, they had to ensure that purchases from the 2020 platform carried over seamlessly to 2024. This meant creating separate packages for each sim while maintaining entitlements across both versions. And making all that work has been complicated. They've spent huge amounts of time and countless bug fixing sessions where the entire team has been testing purchases, sales, transfers, and gifting. Unlike other parts of Sim, they can't fully test this system internally. This is why Sim Update 1 has been so important to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Jorg mentions that 30,000 simmers are now involved with the beta test program for Sim Update 1. Microsoft mentions they are feeling confident the stability has improved, especially on the Xbox console side of things, which is now above the mid 90% mark. Jorg went on and mentioned he doesn't want to rush Sim Update 1. He says it has to feel polished from day one. That's why every time they find something, they take another week to fix it, and then they find something else and it takes another week to fix that. That's why it's so difficult to lock in a firm release date, but when it's ready, Jorg thinks that people will really like what they have built. From Jorg's perspective, every simmer has a different threshold. Some people feel that Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 isn't where it needs to be yet, so they're still flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. He knows quite a few who have made that choice, but there's others having a great time in 2024. It really depends on what you're doing in the sim. He mentions from a technical level, performance is definitely better in 2024. Visually, it looks better, but it comes down to individuals' needs and expectations. When it comes to the use of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, career mode accounts for about 56% of all time spent in the flight sim. Originally, Microsoft expected that it will take around about 30%, but they currently have this sitting at 56%. In my opinion, this will change over time as more complex aircraft are available in the sim and VR receives an update. Die-hard simmers will then bend the curve a bit when it comes to what they're using 2024 for. If you are enjoying the flight sim content like this that we create, why not hit that subscribe button so we can let you know when we release more videos like this one. Thank you very much for your support. And a big shout out to our friends over at Aviation Lads who have created this great A350 trailer that we used in the background of the video. Feel free, I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check out the full video from the Aviation Lads YouTube channel. Moving on to what is next for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 after Sim Update 1. Jorg mentions that Sim Update 1 will address a lot of the issues, but not everything. That's why they've already announced Sim Update 2, which is planned for late April. And apparently once Sim Update 1 is released, the beta testing for Sim Update 2 will start pretty much straight away. And then will be Sim Update 3. They would like to have that ready by the time they meet all at Flight Sim Expo in Providence. He thinks by then they will have tackled most of the issues that have been raised. Microsoft went on and said they've been methodical about this. They're going through the feedback snapshot from the top to the bottom, and if you have a look at it, they're making significant progress out of the 120 reported issues. They're actively working on around about 90 of them, and many of those are either fixed in Sim Update 1 or in progress for Sim Update 2. I'm sort of thinking, in my opinion, when it comes to Sim Update 3, since it's going to be around about the time of the FS Expo, that's probably when we'll start to see some content put into the sim after majority of the bugs are being fixed when it comes to Sim Update 1 and Sim Update 2. Jorg said he can't tell people when's the right time to fully switch over to the 2024 sim, as that is a personal decision, but some will decide based on when they hear from their friends or when they see it on streams. But what he can say is that they're making huge strides. A big shout out to MSFS addons, Jorg, and any builds for the interview. In my opinion, this is the most transparent, detailed information that we have received yet. I'll leave a link in the description below if you'd like to check out the full interview, because I really took pieces out regarding pretty much what Jorg was saying and didn't really include any of the MF addons questions or replies from INI builds themselves. We may not see a Sim Update 1 for a little while yet, perhaps to mid to late March in my opinion. This is a core feature of the 2024 sim that was clearly, in my opinion, not ready for release. And Sim Update 1 is really the development time that the devs needed to get the sim ready for its actual launch. I personally feel positive towards the future of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, but the sim could have used a 2025 release instead. Moving over to this week's in-sim marketplace backlog list, we've seen a total of new products in the backlog list has increased from 16 to a total of 267 week on week. Aircrafts are up by 6 to 24. Missions are up by 16 to 164. Sceneries are down by 2 to 4. Airports down by 4 to 36, and others are up by 2 to 13. This week, when it comes to the in-sim marketplace for 2020, we've seen a total of 50 new products released across both release days. 26 were available for PC, while 24 were available for console. There were 2 aircraft releases this week, and unless you've been pre-flighting a Cessna all week, INI Builds released the Airbus A350. The other release was a V-Fly Air with their Piper Twin Comanche. The other releases have been made up of the in-sim marketplace, which was 1 livery pack, 15 missions or scenery packs, 2 scenery or landmark packs, and 4 airports. If you enjoyed this video, smash that subscribe button, as we look forward to bringing you more flight sim content on the channel real soon. Thank you very much for all your support, and we wish you a very happy flight simming week ahead.